Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of the Trinisphere. I am Squire 1, the Johnny, joined by my co-hosts...
Spike! That's me.
And...
Timmy.
That's right. And today we are going to talk about the Banlist in EDH and what it means and what you might be able to do to create your own local group ban list if you would like to do that. But before that, just so you know, you can check us out on YouTube, CommanderCast, tappedout.net, and newly on EDH Rec under
Boom.
the Community
EDH
Spotlight.
What's up, EDH Rec? Boom, EDH Rec. Thanks, dudes.
That's right. So check us out on all of those places. You'll find our gameplay videos as well as these podcasts on there. You can also check out the podcasts on Google Play or iTunes. So, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the band list, the rationale for it. So, the Rules Committee, this is not a format that's regulated by
it's a completely
Wizards of the Coast, right?
Third party.
They get to touch it on Moto.
They get to look at it.
No, they get to completely control it on Moto.
Oh, Moto, sure.
Yeah.
But not us.
But they
Not
kind of
us.
They have no
follow.
control
They
over
kind
us.
of follow.
We're not a
the-
slave to their system.
We are not a slave to their system.
What is the site? It's mtgcommander.net. I think it's their
Yeah,
site.
I believe so, yeah.
Where you can go to the ban list.
But Sheldon Menery, one of the members of the Rules Committee, who's probably the most prolific writer of the group, has written a lot of articles on this, the rationale for why certain cards get banned, unbanned, etc.
Was he one of the people who like originally came up with
I believe
the-
he was one of the original ones.
Yeah, so that's kind of why they follow the lead of those people, because it was originally made up by fans.
Yeah, I think there were 5 judges.
Yeah.
I believe it was 5 who basically played this in between rounds. They created the format. They developed a band list, and now they've kind of taken on the responsibility of updating the band list.
Yeah.
So below in the description, we'll have a link to the article that I'm referencing here, where Sheldon kind of maps out the criteria that are used for banning cards. Okay. So the first criteria is it creates an undesirable game or game situations.
What does that?
What does that?
Like all cards. All cards do
Hashtag
that.
Blood Moon.
That's so many cards. That's such a vague.
That
criteria.
is a vague
Yeah.
one, you know, and so
Like,
I mean,
what made me feel the worst today?
right, and I think that
Shannon did.
I think that what they're getting at there are cards that are overly oppressive to the point where they warp the entire game around them, and they make it feel bad for everybody except for potentially the person who's playing. So like stacks.deck, but you can't ban everything from stacks, so you're gonna only ban
pick
pieces.
pieces.
Right, exactly.
The worst piece.
The next one is warps the format strategically.
I like that.
Yeah, to me, the best example of this is trade secrets. Because it literally says, well, how about we just gang up on that person and we can draw as many cards as we want back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, that actually warps the entire format.
I remember the first time we played Trade Secrets, and it was actually like, oh, let's logic it out. Maybe a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then one time we watched somebody else go,
Yeah.
hey, you want to draw your entire deck? And the other guy's like, yes, I want to draw my entire deck. You want to draw your entire deck? And they're like, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so that is a good example of how cards can warp the format strategically. Caracas, I think, is another good example.
Yeah.
Like,
One that comes to mind also for me is probably Prophet of Krufix. That one was pretty. If it landed and it didn't get immediately removed, the entire game became arch enemy against that person, and you're probably gonna lose still.
yeah, I would think that falls more in the first criteria just because, like...
It makes it unfun.
It makes it unfun because that person is essentially taking a turn in between everybody else.
Yeah. Yep.
I would say one that you're referring to, or I think a card that falls on your list, even though it's kind of expensive, it would be Yogswill. Or no,
that was
Yoggle,
pretty
right?
good.
No,
Yeah,
Yog's Bargain.
or
Yogg
Yogg
Bargain.
Bargain.
That's what I would think, because technically speaking, you have 40 life, so
Yeah.
I feel like that card's just would fall in making the environment
Yeah.
unfair.
I mean, you know...
Caracas is obviously way on that list, like on that spectrum.
Yes.
Yes, that literally just
Caracas
says
says
no generals.
Commanders don't matter.
Only hex for generals do.
So that changes the format,
Yes.
you know, from a strategic perspective. The next is produces too much mana too quickly. There aren't a ton of cards on the ban list that fall into this category, but
Channel.
the Moxen, Channel, Fast Bond, Black Lotus, and Tolarian Academy, I think, are the major ones
That they would
fall
issue
into
that too, yeah.
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 Rafellos.
Yeah,
Rafellos is
Rafellos.
also on there because of that same reason. Yep.
Yep.
Way too fast.
So some of those are significantly better than others.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna say that the channel's been banned and or restricted from every format it's ever been in.
Yeah.
For a
Big
good
mistake.
reason.
And
Big
limited
mistake.
Limited. Big mistake? No, channel is busted. I played back in the day when channel fireball was literally a thing you could do.
Jesus, how old are you?
I am very old.
He's dust. They call him Father Time.
And it was
Some say he was always here.
It was as broken as you think it is. It's just not okay. The next one is creates a perceived high barrier to entry.
Oh.
Okay.
Perceived high barrier. What does that mean? The card's expensive?
Or not readily available. I don't think they're as
Okay.
concerned with as expensive because that's almost a self-limiting factor of your play group.
Right,
You know,
right.
like everybody has a budget, and that just kind of regulates itself. But if something is expensive and just super impossible to find, like Shufayukin Dragon or whatever it is. Yeah, there's one of them in existence, I'm pretty sure.
So does that mean all of like Portal's Three Kingdoms is banned?
Well, it's not.
Oh.
But it's
okay.
it's a good perspective because there is so few of those cards that's why
The cards are so
Imperial
expensive.
Recruiter and Imperial Seal are so expensive, and even like riding the Deal You horse.
Well, what was that one card they just put? It was in one of the from the vaults. Burning of Xing Hao.
Yeah.
That was one.
Which is the worst wildfire.
No, it is,
Yeah.
but it
Right.
was very expensive.
It
because
was very
it's like
expensive,
$50
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Oh, also was Rolling Earthquake was a
Yes,
big one.
exactly.
Exactly.
Oh.
So I think that while it's been said that the rarity or lack of availability of cards is what they mean by creates a perceived high barrier of entry,
Yeah.
what it actually means is price tag.
Right. But I mean, usually one goes with the other, right? If a card is good in EDH,
Sure.
everyone wants it. And if everyone wants it, but there's so few of it around, it's going to drive the price
Right.
up really high.
Would you? Okay, so I mean, would you say that part of the reason why Tolarian Academy, besides Fast Mana, would also be priced?
It's $30.
It's $30 right now. Imagine if it was unbanned in EDH.
Sure, it would be the same price as Guy's Cradle, which is unbanned.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it would
That's a
skyrocket.
$150 card.
Yep.
I didn't even think about that.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't compare it. To
So
that.
that brings up like the idea though that some people are like, oh, a card's gonna get banned. Is that gonna drive up its price, or is it going to drive down its price?
Unbanned or banned?
Getting banned or getting unbanned. Either way, how does that function with the price? But that gets very confusing sometimes because some cards are expensive, not because they're banned. They're expensive because they're hard to get.
Yes.
When they ban cards like Sylvan Primordial and Prophet of Krufix,
Yeah,
they become bulk. Well, they were almost bulk to
I
begin
was gonna
with.
say probably was only $3 when it was banned.
Yeah, which always shocked me. I
Sylvan
picked up
Primordial was
so
$1
many.
maybe?
I had binders and binders of
I got
profits.
smacked in the face by the Prophet spec. Like
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
foils.
I
on foils
was
on
there too.
foils. I was
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
$5 foils all day, and it was just
Yeah.
like snap.
So anyway, those are the rationale. I mean, to me, so let's talk about them kind of very quickly. To me, the perceived high barrier of entry is the one that's toughest for me to swallow, because there are certain cards. Let's say Library of Alexandria, very powerful card.
Yep.
Okay. Very expensive card because
Yes.
it's very rare. It was from Arabian Nights, one of the lower print runs. One of the next set, actually, I believe the next set, Antiquities, had Mishra's Workshop. $1,000, $1,200 card now. Makes fast mana, very uncommon to find.
Yep.
Very expensive. Why is that not banned? So the inconsistency is most of the problems that I have with some of these things. Like, if
Well,
you're telling me...
So you just want the ban list to be consistent. You don't have a strong opinion either way on whether or not fast mana should be banned.
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I do think that fast mana is probably the most dangerous of any of the things.
So you would ban fast mana.
I would ban fast mana more quickly than I would for any of the other reasons.
I
listed.
agree because I think it makes the games unfun for everyone. I think it actually kind of rolls
Right.
into other.
If somebody has a turn one, I mean, let's say everything was unbanned. Somebody has a turn one, land, Mox, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring. That game is over.
100%. I
It already created an oppressive board state. You don't have to worry.
All you gotta do is make them discard the rest of the other 2 cards left in their hand. They're boned.
They're boned. That might
they got a hot draw.
I've actually seen games where people go turn 1 Soaring Signet and the game's over.
Yeah, usually
absolutely.
turn 1 Soul Ring Signet. It's like, well, this hand wasn't so good, so
Right.
let's just get on to the next one. Like
Right.
if you can't stop.
So I think that fast mana is the most dangerous one.
I agree. It's the most oppressive.
Right. Warps the format strategically ranks second for me because, yeah, you obviously don't want anything that breaks EDH wide open. Otherwise, why are you playing EDH? You know, things that are overly reliant on sideboard because sideboards are completely optional and most people do not play with them. Things that politically, like we said, trade secrets, politically build the landscape just against the social format.
Mm-hmm.
To make it potentially unfun or people really colluding. I mean, there's always collusion, there's always deal making, there's always that kind of stuff. But something that really breaks that open is not fun for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Third for me would be, and I almost don't agree with this at all, creates undesirable games or game situations. Like, there aren't cards that, there's no card I can think of that doesn't have an answer. Now, those answers might be niche. There might be few and far between. At certain parts of the game, you might not be able to answer it. Well, okay.
Well, wouldn't you say the same about the whole strategic warping of the format?
Yeah.
I mean, like I kind of agree with you in the sense that the fast man is the only one that is really hard to deal with.
Yeah.
But if you have interaction of any kind, you can deal with almost the rest of this list.
Yes.
Granted, things like Leovold are kind of a pain to deal with because you have to consistently deal with them over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can answer any of these except for when you have 0 mana and they went Soul Ring Signet on like turn 1, or even worse if
there's actually a card that answers everything now. Summary Dismissal. Doesn't it actually answer anything on the stack? Anything?
Yeah, it exiles spells and abilities.
Yeah. So like that card technically doesn't answer.
Yeah.
To anything.
I mean, but, yeah.
Yeah, so like cards like Trade Secrets, which are pretty nasty when played,
Right.
Kind of unfairly, is respondable as well. It sucks that you have to counter a trade secret because you weren't picked to be the one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah.
Also, I mean, if you're not in blue, like you don't have as much response to certain things.
Yeah,
You could
like
be sitting there and be like, oh, okay, cool. I guess the game's over.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So
I can at least see where they're coming from with that. You know, like. Biorhythm is on the ban list, creates undesirable game states. Like, if you're playing a Spellslinger deck, you just die to Biorhythm.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Right.
That means it cuts off so many deck building
Right.
opportunities.
Whereas something like Sway the Stars treats everybody the same. Everybody gets 7 life regardless. Not as, unfun format warping, game warping.
People don't like having their things taken away from them, though. Like in that regard.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean that is a thing. And then creates a high barrier for entry. This is the one I disagree with the most because it's, to me, very inconsistent, and I think that play groups need to regulate that more than anything else.
100%. Like, the people in your group need to be responsible for controlling, like...
Well, they do. I mean, not everybody in every play group has dual lands. We have a few players in our play group that have some dual lands or a full set.
Yeah.
And it's really just because of budget. It doesn't make or break the situation, Jeff.
No, I wouldn't. But I don't think a mana-based make or breaks the situation at all, in my opinion.
Yeah. Right.
But I feel like I think if you've got $300 worth more in like playable cards, you're gonna win.
I feel like it's a writer for most of these other ones. Like most of these other ones are huge things, but the whole price tag is just like extra icing on the justification.
Right.
Like, yeah, if somebody has all the Moxen, then yes, they spent a lot of money to pay to win.
Right.
But that also falls into the whole their mana
it's too fast mana. That's the real problem with Moxen.
Yeah. So the whole price being a barrier to entry, yes, Magic can be pay to win.
Yeah.
It can be, but that isn't something that happens to all the play groups, and your play groups can talk about that kind of thing.
Right.
And if someone has really powerful cards, you can be like, hey, can we proxy them too so that we can be in the same power level? And if they say no, you can say, just get out of here, man. Just go. Just get the hell out of here.
Shannon voting people off the island.
Yeah. Just get out of here with that crap.
So next, let's talk about perspectives that playgroups can have on bans.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you can look at this from a few different perspectives. So the first is a perspective of ban more things. Get rid of anything that's overly oppressive or just more oppressive.
Something smells like Timmy.
I mean, if we're talking about the inconsistencies in the ban list, then would we not want to, make all, if Tolarian Academy is banned,
Yeah.
would we not want to also ban Gaia's Cradle and Sarah's Sanctum? All the cards that do kind of this in the same cycle, that kind of thing, to try and make the list uniform. Like, why one over the other? I mean, obviously, one is much more powerful. It's easier to make a bunch of artifacts on turn one than it is creatures, but they're all uniformly powerful and pricey.
Yes.
They hit many of these ban marks.
They do. Yeah. Tolarian Academy is arguably one of the more powerful. I think that Gaia's Cradle is just as powerful, personally. Sarah's Sanctum, a little bit weaker.
Oh, yeah. Only Enchantress decks.
Right, exactly.
Cabal Coffers, however, is a very powerful card that generates a ton of mana. And, man, everyone runs that thing.
Right.
It's probably weaker. I mean, it's weaker than Gaia's Cradle on average.
Is
but,
Sanctum banned in EDH?
Is not.
Oh, no. It's just the Academy?
It's just Tolarian Academy.
I've never even seen someone play a Sarah Sanctum.
He has.
Yeah.
I
play
Enchantress.
I've just never... I'm sorry, it's a very uncommon card.
Well, I mean, even when I
It's
play
also
it generates
$50.
like 4 to 6 mana. It's not like super oppressive.
Right.
Nykthos is more powerful these days, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think even more so the argument for ban more stuff is, at what point does humility become too annoying?
I know. It makes it unfun to play.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I guess the question then becomes, where do you draw the line? When does maybe Sheldon Menery and the people who decide this list decide one card has reached the other side of the line? They've got fed up.
Right, what is
being
the rules
humility
committee using as this makes unfun games?
Yeah, that becomes a question that everyone starts wondering, how many times did one of their friends, overwhelming splendor them?
Yeah.
And they got frustrated and they're like,
yeah.
Gosh.
It could have been one. It could have taken one night. One tabletop game. Yeah, having 4 games to where that one card decided that it was.
Right, Rite of Replication and Acidic Slime should both be banned. Right?
Anyways, that's a different argument.
Is there a thermometer? Reach.
Boom! If you guys saw for a second there was a flashback PTSD moment for.
I'm
Ryan.
hot now. Right. I literally immediately my blood pressure.
So, another perspective is to get rid of the ban list altogether.
Ooh, that is saucy. That
spicy. That is saucy.
So what would you do?
Spike approval.
How it would be like the Purge.
It would, yeah.
Like corpses in the streets kind of thing.
I honestly hear me out. If the ban list, if there's an announcement right now, the ban list
ceases to exist in the next 24 hours.
Yeah. Yep. On Friday when we all decide to play, we're all gonna be everyone's gonna show up. It's gonna be a shit show.
It's not. I disagree.
Everyone is gonna scramble and be okay, eliminate all the cards that cost 500 plus. All right.
Right. So you'll see a recurring nightmare. You'll see a Tolarian Academy.
Civic players coming out strong with their prime time
primordial. When turn one braids the table every single game, then we'll talk about that bullshit. All right. Or when someone,
I don't think it would be mass pandemonium. To be honest, I really think that it would be.
So
a few people who happen to have the cards anyway.
So our Playgroup has actually been discussing trying to unban the list and see what happens. And my thought is, I looked at the list. I've been trying to analyze how bad it would be, and there are very few cards on the list that I'm actually interested in running.
Yeah.
It's basically the ones that most recently were banned: the Primordial, the Prime Time, and the Prophet.
Yeah.
The other cards, they seem to have a one-off deck that just devastated everyone. But I wouldn't want to go build
a deck.
Yeah, as the Jorah deck, you want a Jorah that kind of. So these cards are known for being super powerful, but most of them are known for being super powerful in one instance. And I'm not the kind of player who's I'm going to go look up that list that once blew everyone away and build it. So your Playgroup may not actually be, jumping on the bandwagon as soon as it's available. You guys might have a lot of Johnnies who don't want to build a deck that's already well known kind of thing. Right. So it may be your group may actually be self-governing in that kind of way.
So another perspective on the ban list is to just make it more consistent. You know, some of what we were talking about earlier, like let's put Mishra's Workshop on there. Let's put Mana Crypt on there. You know, both of those qualify as
Soul Ring.
ramp. Well, I was going to say both of those qualify as ramp and barrier of entry because both of them are
pricey,
uncommon, pricey, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, Moat makes a pretty unfun board state, plus it's very pricey.
I need to get a
Things like that. Yeah, $700 later, you can have a Moat.
My Walker deck is going to be so
Just
good,
get a Magus of the Moat. It's the same thing.
No way.
Just get a what?
A
Magus of the Moat.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 0-1
But it
for
dies
4.
to my wraths.
It does.
So
Wait, what?
dies to my wrath of gods.
Oh, I thought you said it.
It dies to my rats. My rats eat them. Eat them
They're
alive.
relentless.
So, and then the other perspective, and I think that this one has a very good rationale for it, is stick to the current band list. And the rationale that always resonates with me, and when we were having this conversation in chat with our play group, this was the reason that somebody brought up that I was like, that's the most rational reason why you would stick to the band list. And it's because if you want to bring new players into your group, or you just want to bring your deck to a game, to your LGS, and be able to play with people, having a consistent ban list is the only way to actually effectively do that without having a whole bunch of people put off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do, to a certain extent, agree with that. Like, keeping a ban list is convenient for that purpose.
Yeah, there is a part of me that's very curious to see why these cards were banned. I haven't looked up and done the proper research to see why these cards were banned. So the whole unbanning it thing is kind of like seeing players play those cards in their worst form.
I mean,
this guy over here,
What?
especially.
No, I mean,
and then be like, oh, that's why that card was banned. Or we could save ourselves that effort and be like, I think these guys who do this effectively for a living have done the research, and we can trust in them. You know,
and it's quite possible they have. But I mean, let's be honest. You played when Gristlebrand was unbanned.
Yes.
Okay. You played when Prophet was unbanned.
Yes.
When Sylvan Primordial and Primetime were unbanned.
Actually, but yeah. When I played back then, Prophet, I was like, man, Prophet is busted, but I'm gonna keep playing it until they ban it.
Actually, one of my favorite stories early in me knowing Shannon was me saying, man, that card's busted in EDH. And he was like, really? 5 mana? You want to pay 5 mana for that?
Nah, it's totally fine. It's totally fine.
What's funny that you're talking about like the origin story of Prophet. I came into EDH like full-fledged nosedive into it. Like not my Magic history, but EDH.
EDH, yeah.
I would say right before that card got banned. I was playing Slivers. And someone's like, just put Prophet in it. Makes that deck insane. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're playing a creature deck and it gives them all flash. Oh.
And it
untaps. Oh, okay. So I get to flash my Slivers in. Oh, wait, they're all encounterable and Hexproof. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So there is rationale for having some consistency. But, I mean, I think that we've played with some of these cards. Even Emrakul. Like, I've seen these cards on the table. I've faced them before. Yes, they're formidable. I'm not saying they're not powerful, but there are very powerful cards that are still unbanned. So there's a level of Yeah. Also, I am the one who's like super vocal about I can't stand how the ban list is currently constructed.
They don't know. They haven't seen any.
That's true. Well,
1,000 other times you've mentioned
that's
the ban
true.
list.
If you have
You should check out his manuscript.
If you've heard literally
Manifesto.
if you've heard any episode of Commander Cast in the last 2 years, I've probably mentioned it.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
I'm all for you guys unbanning the list and letting you guys kind of govern it yourselves. Do whatever you want, like make a decision on your own kind of thing, and feel it out for yourselves. Because you may have other mitigating factors. Maybe not everyone can afford the super pricey ones. You play with the lower end ones, and then promotes interaction, that kind of thing. You got to run more removal to deal with these things.
The only thing that I would really emphasize, though, if you're going to do that, and this was kind of where we have currently gotten stuck and we don't have an answer yet, is you need a mechanism by which cards can get rebanned.
Right.
If everybody agrees that something needs to be banned, like if you're creating your own ban list, it's one of the most important things to do, is make sure you set down the ground rules from the beginning. How do we ban a card?
Hey, you should probably not go and invest a lot of money yet, because
because
tomorrow we may realize
we might be like, nope,
Yeah, it turns
Black
out,
Lotus is banned.
Turns out Black Lotus is pretty good.
Right.
So you're $6,000 in the hole.
Just start out by just Black Lotus is banned. Just
probably all the mobs, and just keep your wallet safe.
yeah. So anyway, creating your own ban list. There's a couple of initial things to consider on top of the and these are things that are considered in the current ban list also.
Is number one on the list friendship?
No.
Shocker.
Damn. I guess that's what I thought when I play Magic.
Is this card friendly? I believe that is your deck building process.
I sacrifice friends on the throne of ban list. To
the gods of the ban, I submit thee.
So the first thing, and I don't recommend this, but I'm not going to regulate your group, is
he's not going to come to your guys' group.
Right, exactly.
He's going to be like, no!
Not!
Banning anti-cards. Anti-cards are very few and far between.
Yeah, let's not play that dark pact.
Jewel Bird, anti.
I have played for anti back in the day.
Yeah,
I remember doing it, and it is
friendships are lost over
friendships
anti.
are absolutely lost over anti.
Your play group will disintegrate.
Just like Monopoly.
Unfortunately, back then I was really pissed off about losing my Shivan Dragon and weird things like that instead of actual good cards.
Hey, if you guys didn't know, way back then.
That was a good card.
Before the wall fell.
Right.
That card was worth a lot of money.
Let's also bet our cards against each other.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The other thing...
Pink Slip Magic, the only true street magic right there.
He absorbs this deck to become one.
Gotta put the next match with a 120 card deck.
Could you imagine a Magic tournament where the person with the tallest deck is the person who's winning?
I have played against 500 card decks.
Do you got a Battle of Wits in there? Because I really needed to win this game.
No, I gotta beat you.
And so the other thing is banning uncards, right? Some play groups like to add because honestly,
really fun. Uncards.
Some of them are very fun, and I don't have a problem with some of them. Anything that again warps the format or stalls the game out too much or something is not.
You got phone a friend because you need to pick a player outside the game.
Right, exactly. Things that are really ridiculous are I have to go open a pack of cards. Okay, let's just get on with the game. So those things are things that you need to consider before you even look at the ban list. Okay. Now let's look at the ban list, and we can argue over any of these that we want to argue over.
I think there's really.
This is what I would do. This is Squire 1.
Personally, can we back up real quick? I don't want
to... Yeah, no, go.
All right, so you're talking about this creating our ban list. I think it's safe to say... Hear me out.
Yeah.
It's safe to say just to throw the power on there for money restraints.
Yeah. Power...
Yeah, I would say...
If you put Power 9... Well, actually, only 8 of the Power 9 are banned.
Which one's...
You're right. I'm sorry. We'll call it the EDH Power 8.
Yeah.
We'll throw those on the... No one gives a shit about
new terminology.
No one cares about Time Twister anyways, so let's just... I say it's safe
I would totally play Time Twister if I had one.
Well, just go buy one. They're like 300.
They're like 700.
I can buy one for 300.
All right.
He knows a guy.
Just rub it on some sidewalk.
Black market.
All right. So the first one that I would unban is Balance.
Unban?
Yes.
Do you want to see that's literally saying oh man, I built a shitty deck, but I have a Balance. I'm just gonna top deck until everyone's back at me.
Keep the one lander in the Balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're gonna wreck them all.
Well, I'm never getting... 2 lands, yes!
I actually like that. I
don't
like
think
to
playing
draw.
Balance is any worse than playing Cataclysm.
Who the hell plays Cataclysm?
Lots of people.
I've not seen a Cataclysm.
Or playing an Armageddon.
I have not seen those cards in our playgroup in a while, is what I'm trying to say.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, those cards are legal.
Oh, 100%.
I don't have a problem with the Balance.
Well,
I can play
as someone who does play Armageddon, you have to strategically place
does
it.
With lands, it's in green. What's that?
As someone who plays Armageddon, you actually have to strategically cast it so that you don't die to the creature state.
No, what you mean is you should. You don't have to. You
I mean,
just die to the creature state, like many people do.
Whereas Balance says no creatures,
no hands,
no artifacts,
no hands.
Isn't that
no lands?
Isn't that what Cataclysm does?
Cataclysm does not destroy hands.
Not hands. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're left with one land and a hand.
Yes, you're left with the best one of all of those cards.
Yeah. Yes. And so if you build your board state to have one big thing
Yeah,
And
with balance, I could have no creatures. You don't get to choose your best creature.
That
your
is
best
true.
artifact, your best land.
Hey, so
Yeah.
when I go in my red white deck, when I spin my Greater Gargadon and I stack all my shit to it and I balance,
Yeah, I like it.
that's not cool.
Red.
Jeez.
First of all,
That Greater Gargadon's gonna win this game.
First of all, if you do that, you will have made a Boros deck win. So I actually think that you're doing great.
I've seen other Burrows decks.
All right, what else have we got on here?
All right, so next one, I would say Unbanned Coalition Victory.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
That's fine.
I'm fine with that.
Skip. I
Sure.
think it's
Yeah,
on a permanent.
That is
two
the
permanent
the
or one
Johnny
permanent?
special.
One permanent,
Maybe
of
even
each
the
color,
Timmy
and one
special.
land.
Get there.
So if you have a
$5.
5-color permanent, does it just win the game?
You have to have a land of each.
A land of
basic
each
land
basic.
Oh
land
yeah, no,
type,
yeah, that's
and then a
that's-
5-color.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
and be able to cast it. So yeah, Emrakul, I would unban.
I'm medium on that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay
The
with
fact that
it,
he
but
cast
getting
it-
like sneak attacked by an Emrakul is game ending for
That's
you,
rough.
basically.
That's rough. I mean, you could do they do like
Yeah,
so
I mean,
early. Also,
being,
you know,
being sneak attacked. By
Well,
a lot
I
of
think
things is
actually
good.
the fear here is that he's your commander.
also Tooth and Nail and
Yeah.
Twine is a thing.
Yeah.
Emrakul, haste it, bitch.
Yeah. I mean, same as sneak attacking.
I mean, a 15/15.
Annihilator 6. Yeah.
I'm actually
It
okay
takes an
with
extra
it.
turn.
I mean, a 12-12
actually okay with it.
Annihilator 4 is
If you-
pretty bad too.
Yeah,
You
if
only
you
draw
get there,
You
if
don't
you
take
get there,
an
you
extra
get there.
turn if you tooth and nail it.
If you tooth and nail it, sure, but if you cast it, it's 15 mana.
Yeah,
Great. Get there.
yeah.
How
I'll
hard,
be
is it,
impressed.
deserve it.
how hard is it for you to get to 15 mana in that deck you were just talking about? Huh?
It's not that hard.
Oh, what was it? Was it 50
Hey,
mana on turn
hey.
8?
If you guys notice,
Emrakul!
if you guys
Omniscience
notice,
costs 10.
channel is also unbanned right next. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's not. No. Omniscience is 10 mana.
Sure.
And then you can cast anything.
Guess what? Omniscience can get blown up with a disenchant. You know what can't? Emrakul, because it can't be targeted by any color. You can't even fucking path it. If it had no protection,
If
unbanned.
you guys,
All
if
day.
you guys
All
didn't,
day.
Fleshback Marauder.
if you guys didn't hear that,
And
he
instant speed. Oh, it's
he
flashing in,
promoted
fuck.
he promoted disenchant again.
Yeah.
I did it. Hashtag disenchant. I'm gonna
He's
get
actually
I wanna.
Sponsored by
Director
Our
Matt,
spike is
Director
sponsored
Matt,
by
ready? Ready? I'm gonna
Disenchant.
slow mo it for you. Disenchant.
He's making it like sparkly and like.
Oh, and it's a fucking rain salt.
All right.
All right.
What else
so
we got
Next
here?
one is Gifts Ungiven.
That can stay banned.
I like that unban.
I like
That
that.
card's
unban.
really good. It does
It's
so
really
many
good.
things.
It is really good.
Because you do the searching. It's too good.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but it broadcasts what your next plays are. But it's really good in like Dredge Reanimator kind of things.
What I'm saying
Because
is
no
like
matter
the
what
package,
happens, it's value. But
it's
you
too
do see
val-
it coming.
Yeah, but
So
You can see what they're about to do, and you can plan accordingly.
important thing to note.
okay, you know why this
Notice-
card's broken? Flashback.
We have all been playing Magic together for quite a while.
3 years now.
Too long.
3 years, probably 5 years for the two of us, somewhere around there.
Sure.
Yeah. So we've been playing Magic together for a very long time, and we've been playing EDH the entire time.
Have we? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still don't even come close to agreeing on these.
No.
No.
So it's
No.
it's quite possible that this is not
No.
a great system for us. But it's important to have those conversations with your player
Yeah.
because sometimes people want to play these cards.
Yep.
And it's okay in a vacuum.
Do I want to see this card unbanned? Absolutely.
What, gifts?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I pointed it.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, I want to see gifts unbanned because I think there's so much build
It's a
potential.
lot of fun. I think
No,
it's
no.
fun to
I
play.
think
Right.
any blue deck can play it because there's just okay. I get 2 of the 4 cards I searched for. 82. I'm gonna be happy with because guess what? It's the 4 best cards in my deck. That's
So-
the problem.
So
But-
in interest of time, you guys can blurt out if it's something completely painful. I'm gonna rush through the next few of these. So I say unban Gristlebrand, Painter Servant, Panoptic Mirror, Primeval
No.
Titan, Panoptic Mirror, no.
Not Panoptic Mirror.
Primeval Titan, Prophet of Krufix, Recurring Nightmare, Raphellos.
No.
Recurring
Am I
Nightmare.
supposed to
No,
blur
Raphellos.
out?
Yeah.
Raphellos.
Raphellos?
Yeah,
Alright, fair
Raphellos.
enough. This, by the way, the
Yeah,
only,
just give me
the
6
only one
mana
of
on
these-
turn 3.
By the way,
for free.
that is the only one that I own of the ones that I'm
That's hilarious.
suggesting to unban. Sway the Stars,
No.
Tolarian Academy. Sway the Stars is fine.
That card is bullshit.
Sway the Stars
I
is
thought I
fine.
was straight up a troll. No, you're just like you just wanted to say no.
I didn't get to say it yet.
Yeah, no, you were like I was like, oh gosh,
Tolarian
you let them all
Academy,
go.
Tolarian Academy, World Fire, and Yawgmoth's Bargain.
I'm actually okay with all these except for Sway the Stars because I personally I think Sway the Stars is just bullshit. The card's bullshit. It's 7 mana, like shuffle everything. Everyone goes to 7, draw 7.
But what is Sway the Stars?
A sorcery,
No.
powerful.
You,
Lame
s-
as
you
fuck.
said it like 8 times.
shitty.
You're close enough, anyway.
A piece of shit. I don't know what this.
All right.
Ban.
Some things that I would add to the ban list because I think that they fit multiple categories here. I would add Soul Ring.
Definitely not availability.
Yeah, they're available.
I almost agree with you, but God, have they printed the shit out of that card?
Yes.
We get 5 a year, guys. We all buy a set. So like,
yeah, it's true. We do get 5 a year, literally.
Oh my
it's like
God.
A fucking,
I have
it's
binders
interest,
and
man.
binders of
yeah.
Soul Rings.
Mana Crypt.
Ban it? Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Mishra's Workshop.
Yeah, I haven't.
Sure.
Okay,
yes.
Yes. That's fine with banning it 100%. I've never seen Soul play it. Swear to God, I've never seen it.
Yeah. Agree.
You're like a turn 0 Gilded Lotus? Or a turn 0 Thran Dynamo?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turn 0.
Turn 0 Thran Dynamo is pretty good. Especially when you can go right into Metalworker, which I would also ban.
Really? Is that?
Yeah, he's right there.
I
actually, it would have been the next one. I might have gotten from last.
As someone who has a mono brown deck, I would also ban Metalworker.
Yeah, Metalworker's
it's so
pretty
good.
busted.
It's,
You
when
have
I
to
draw it,
play-
I'm like, I win this game.
He's like the centrifuge of when it comes to mono brown decks.
Right. Yeah. Time Twister.
You want to ban that?
Okay, just to make the Power 9 complete,
You want to remove that asterisk from Power 8?
The Power 8 becomes the 9 again.
I mean,
Do you really think
it's
that's that
a
powerful?
3 mana Time Spiral-ish effect. Like, that's pretty good.
You don't want to tap shit.
Yeah, okay. Because it only costs 3 mana, not 6.
What I'm saying is like, wait, what about it's too good?
You wouldn't play Time Spiral if the effect wasn't good. Who cares that it's a spell that untaps?
I don't know. A lot of people will play it just because it untaps 6 lands. It's like Storm Count +1.
Yeah, I mean, okay, fine.
What I'm saying, that's a free spell. What I'm saying though is like, what about this makes it so good?
I think that it's undercosted for what it does.
Oh well, of course. I mean,
And
like,
the availability.
The closest thing.
Oh my gosh! Are you arguing availability as a reason to ban?
That one, yeah.
Oh man, gosh, we come full circle.
Very talking about
Find a
Metalworker.
piece of Power 9 that's actually like, not in a sealed plastic case or
rated. Oh yeah.
And Bazaar of Baghdad.
You want that banned?
Yeah,
Too good?
yeah.
It's not banned.
Is
It's
it the price?
It's somewhere between the price, the availability. It's from Arabian Nights, one of the lowest printed.
What if it
sets.
got reprinted in Match 25?
It's reserveless, so that can't happen.
What if it did?
Then I would buy one.
Yes.
I mean, I
got him to fault. No.
I have them in my deck lists right now.
No, it's amazing.
I mean, it's a great card,
Yep.
but it's way overpowered. It's way overpowered and it's way unavailable.
I mean, on turn 1, a Baghdad's very good.
Yeah. So, just to kind of close it out, summarize for everybody. Look, we can't agree on a ban list, so we currently operate under the rules committee. We're tossing around the idea of unbanning and doing our own ban list.
The MO, the way we were going to ban cards after unbanning everything was a Survivor style vote at the end of the night.
Right.
At the end of EDH night, be like, okay, guys, which one was the most busted?
Right.
But the main reason I want to do that is because it's fun to try and get people to do stuff. So it'd be really fun
trying to manipulate people.
Yeah, it'd be fun trying to manipulate people. I'd be like, bro, I will vote for you next week if you vote for what I want this week.
So
We would do that. You honestly know we would do that, right?
So
what pissed you off today?
Let's get rid of. Hold on. What did you want?
let's-
Sway of the Stars.
There's going to be micro campaigns in our EDH.
Oh
group.
yeah,
It's true.
I mean that appeals to me.
So anyway, if you're interested in if you have a solid, I would say the only time you want to make a ban list for your play group is if you have a consistent play group.
Yeah.
That you play.
You don't want people
Not if
rolling
you-
in and being
if you
like, what
just
the hell?
bring your deck into LGSs and play, or you play in somewhat competitive or anything like that.
Sure.
Don't think about this. But if you have a solid play group, same 5 to 10 people that you play with on a regular basis, at least have the conversation. Hey, are people open to unbanning or adding bans? The important thing that I think a lot of people forget when they talk about the rules committee is Sheldon and the other people on the rules committee absolutely encourage groups to create their own ban list
That's the
that
point.
works for your play group. So I agree. I encourage you to do so.
I think that's one thing we can all agree on. I think we can all agree that it's worth exploring in your group.
Yeah. And at least having the
to
conversation.
play with it. You don't have to sit here and use this. You guys can have this discussion and talk about which ones. I mean, so many of them are so out of accessible range due to price. So you can talk about the ones that are accessible and experiment.
Right. So until next time, guys, we are going to sign off again. Make sure that you share, like, subscribe. Check us out on EDH Rec, CommanderCast, YouTube, and TappedOut.net. You can find deck lists of ours and our profiles on TappedOut.net. Facebook, Twitter, all the social media things. Make sure you follow us.
Just Google the Trinisphere.
Just Google Squire 9999.
Or
you'll find all three of us.
Or Squire
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
This has been Squirrel's Rant.
That's true.
Yeah.
It has.
I'm glad you got it out there.
I did. It was cathartic.
You're like, oh my god, I feel 10 pounds lighter.
I know.
The Banlist.
If I felt 10 pounds lighter, that would be fantastic.
This has been weighing on you. I can tell.
Yeah, it has. So until next time, guys, keep brewing.
Peace.
Outs.